Take us through the numbers, Chris.
Trušček 43 against SCHOBER 34. Like you said, 84 professional fights in the bank for Ivica Trušček. 29 for SCHOBER. Both guys mixed records, but this one could be about attrition.
Well, it could be about attrition, or it's going to be a banger, and it's going to end quickly. And straight away, Ivica Trušček gets behind a kick to the midsection and really starts to put the heat on Dominik SCHOBER.
Unbelievable. Trušček waltzes out, double kicks. SCHOBER almost looked like he was tagged there, and then Trušček getting in the shot. Very comfortable fighting bigger, stronger guys. Worth noting that SCHOBER has fought up at 84 before, so dropping down could be big.
Oh, that's making no difference to Trušček. He didn't get the memo. He's brought his man right up against the cage. He's giving away a height advantage, and he's just powering his man down to the ground here. SCHOBER reverses it, and now you can see the difference in size and strength. But look at Trušček. Look, Trušček just looks like he's doing 50 down a motorway, doesn't he? Just one arm on the wheel and one arm out the window, whistling an Eagles tune.
Literally, we'll beat any quote, we'll take any job.
Yes, look at him. 85 professional MMA bouts. You know, in the distance stands a boxer and a fighter by his trade, and he carries the reminder of every fist that hit him as he cried out in his anger and his pain. That is a walking legend there. Slips the arm. Starts to put pressure on now, Trušček. Psychological antics of SCHOBER at the weigh-in, now being reversed on him. Trušček just hanging there, almost with his hands in his pocket. And SCHOBER starting to rethink as they get separated. Look at that, great work. Straight left, straight in, classic boxing. Slips anything SCHOBER brings. I love Trušček's work, and I just think that you can't beat classic basics. A little bit of a Philly shield there to work his way in. And again, Trušček puts his man on the wire and thumps in a left hand. Take that when you go.
Yeah, he's so good off the jab with that Philly style. SCHOBER just does not have an answer for the head movement and the hand speed and the accuracy of Ivica Trušček.
Trušček, like an old shark with scars on his nose, just hunting. This is all in a day's work for this guy. I mean, you know, he really is relaxed out there. There's no stress. I mean, he's zen. He's in the Budo zone, Trušček. SCHOBER has got almost 10 years on his opponent. That's some age differential. You haven't seen that for a long time. And look at Trušček. He's the hunter here.
Yeah, I think, you know, it's something that Trušček has become a little bit comfortable with about bigger, faster, stronger, younger opponents, because he's had to have some uphill walks. But look, the hand speed is still there. The technique is the last thing to go.
Bangs in a right hand. SCHOBER this time gets him up against the wire. Trušček, well, not so relaxed now. SCHOBER's got the measure of it. Using that additional height, marginal though it is, using it to leverage. Trušček just moves his head to one side. He's having none of it, is he? He just positions everything like he's setting the table for afternoon tea. Look at him on the wire, absolutely in control, controlling the arms of SCHOBER. SCHOBER now tries a little bit of a hip throw, gets the leg in to see if he can do it. Doesn't manage it. Trušček can hang there all day long.
Yeah, when you've hosted this many dinner parties, you're not really ever confused on the layout or what to do. And that's what makes Trušček, I think, still competitive here at this age, this far into his career. The marathon, not the sprint.
Yeah, but I think you've still got to be respectful, Trušček, and I think the earlier he finishes this, then you know, the better it is for him, the better it's going to play out. But he'll have a strategy, and you know, you're looking at a guy that's forgotten more techniques than most fighters ever learn. You know, and this guy survives feasting with Panthers. He really has fought the top end of European and Balkan MMA, as well as the scrap end. And sometimes the scrap end can be just as harmful and dangerous and wearing out of 85 professional bouts. So on the wire, it's starting to get just a little bit grinding. SCHOBER's getting creative there, tries a little Ashibarai on the inside. Reno Sotogari to try and take his man out, but he doesn't do it. Again, trip attempt, and Trušček just hangs.
Schober's got to go lower here, and he's got to break the glass, as we like to say. If you're going to go for that trip, you really want to get a little bit lower and just thrust your hips. Attempted a foot sweep, but again, a little bit out of position here. Interesting round.
Well, a little bit of collateral damage on the nose of Ivica Trušček. That means he's taken a couple of shots there. But I wouldn't say this has been smart, industrious, and effective. I think this has been just a little feeler, a little taster sample of what is available to both fighters. What I have seen, though, is Dominik Schober hasn't been electrifying in terms of creativity.
Yeah, he's been a little bit gun-shy backing off. There was the double kick. The second one landed on Schober, actually. Not that hard, but enough to certainly cause some impact. That was the beginning of the first round. Here, Trušček on the inside, like you said, with that Philly shell, the hands-low approach, turning the shoulder as he whips that left hook in, and indeed the right hook a couple of times. I've got Trušček up 10-9 in that round.
I think this is where he steps it up. He's had the feel of this, the measure. Schober, well, the younger of the two, as you can imagine, he's still got plenty of gas in the tank. And legend that is Ivica Trušček, a great crowd pleaser here, and comes from an era of MMA long forgotten now. You see the young fighters all well-rounded. As I say, I commentated Ivica Trušček way back in the day. And, he's brought all of that to the ring, finds himself in a bit of trouble now as well, Dominik Schober, who I said was a little bit uncreative, finds himself now in a dominant position here.
He's good in this position too. Nice to see him not get the seatbelt. Oh, that was a bit of a mistake. Unfortunately, it looked like he lost his hooks. He had double unders. I thought he might be worried about getting shaken off if Trušček tried to tripod a little bit, but Schober slipped the hooks.
Now Schober starting to go to work. He's starting to dig some of those shots in. So a little bit of turbulence for Trušček to adjust to. That left hand is so good from that guard. Scoring away, you know, and you don't see MMA fighters that rely on orthodox boxing skills. But look at that, bangs in, 2 jabs, and they rock the head back of Schober. And, you know, that's accuracy and it's speed, the hand speed. You know, to get inside the guard once, well, that's enough. But twice, well, that's simply rude, and Schober needs to cover up. But as soon as the hands go up, you watch. Trušček will find the body with a kick.
I like the way he actually throws it once and then steps in again to throw it the second time after retracting it halfway.
Yeah, bangs in the body weight behind it. Nice technique, makes the second one hard.
And Schober can see that coming. That's the surprising thing, is Schober has eaten that double jab 3 times now.
There's the right in the exchange, Trušček over the top. Oh, he's still dangerous. The boxing skills are still there. So far, this hasn't gone to the mat in any meaningful way. And Trušček still a bit static, really. And Schober, using the hands, put some henching behind that right overhand. Look at that liver kick there from Trušček. In goes the elbow, stops Schober from coming in and bullying him up against the wire. It's those old MMA style tricks that you learn when the rule system wasn't so nailed down and you had to handle. Oh, and really slips the opponent. That was good for Schober, 10 out of 10.
Schober looking for that spinning back elbow there. It's been kind of low output though, a little too low for me against Trušček. You get the feeling a few times Schober really could have marked his ascendancy with more. But whether the cardio is lacking, like I said, the change in weight category, we've seen him up and down over the years.
Well, Trušček just looks as if he's hanging to have fun. I mean, I don't know. I spoke to him on the treadmill, funny enough, in Zagreb, I believe it was. And it was before an FNC bout, and I was walking on the treadmill, he was running, and I said to him, how do you think it'll go? He said, oh, just another night. He said, we'll have some fun. And I thought, oh dear, that's a mindset and a half to go into the cage with. And just look at it, he's having fun. 2 kicks on the trot, 2 jabs on the trot. It's a masterclass. It's almost as if he's punishing Schober for, you know, talk about slowness. Again, double jab, and again the kicks. On fire here, Ivica Trušček, firing at will. I mean, it's just almost a statement to Schober saying, you know, come on, you need to step up. Is that the best you can do? You've got 10 years on me.
For the love of the game, Will, for the love of the game. When you're in there, you're seeing it, you're having fun, you're feeling good about it. I think it's definitely one of the things that's the biggest differentiator is the jab. Schober here, outside trip again, just really struggling to get his hips in.
And I just get the sense that Trušček is not advantaging himself at every opportunity. He's just going along. He's saying, oh, well, I could have done that there, but hey, I'm going to do this. And I really do think that he's just hanging in there, almost for fun, cocking asleep, as it were, with no offence directed at his opponent, Dominik Schober. We know Trušček has got so much skill and experience. He would do after 85 professional MMA fights, and we see that in Trušček now. It's almost as if it is for fun.
Schober again here on the back. He does love the RNC. He's got a handful of them in the W column. We saw Gerd Richter actually break them apart here, but 10 seconds left. Schober, I think, is really starting to get tired, and Trušček, of course, is a little bit overwhelmed up against the fence in these positions, but he's happy to wait. He's happy to get separated, and then he's happy to do damage in the middle of the cage, and I think that's got him up for probably a very easy 2018 at this point.
If you were to score it, Chris, where would you say it was?
2018.
Well, it goes to 3. It's a testimony to Trušček's fitness, match fitness. Take us through the action here, Chris, because some of it was just incredible.
Good accuracy here off the jab. Again, Trušček just moving his head away while throwing punches. That's been another key feature of his performance. There we saw the double kick. He actually did it for another time here compared to the first round. It's the same technique. He went body and head off the switch. There, the double jab again, another key feature. And landing. I think he landed 2 double jabs 3 times in a row.
Third and final round in this catchweight matchup at 79 keys. The legend that is Ivica Trušček from Croatia, who spent more time inside a cage probably than a performing lion. His opponent, Dominik Schober, 10 years his junior. And he comes in now to see if he can do something decisive. He knows the corner will have told him, you've got to pull a rabbit out of the hat. You're not going to get it on points. Trušček has done enough. However, many a slip twixt cup and lip. We go into the third. And, whoa, in trouble already, Schober. Under pressure from Trušček. Semi-slip, semi-knockdown.
And again, Trušček is not the kind of guy to win on decision, and Schober is not the kind of guy to lose on decision. It's almost just unreal that this fight has gone into the third round. I didn't think it would. I kind of thought under 2. But Trušček just needs more of the same. The double jab, getting off the fence, dominating the center of the cage where possible, and move, stick and move.
That double jab is worthy of championship boxing. Trušček is just another level with the hands. Just missed out there, but gives a payoff with the kicks. One to the midsection, one downstairs to the thigh. Scoring all the time. This is what the judges are looking for. And look at that, the low kick. Semi-slip, semi-knockdown again. Dominik Schober unsteady on his feet. He goes to try and bull his man up against the ropes, and the first thing Trušček does is put his elbow in his way. And, you know, these are the old tricks that I talked about that a veteran MMA fighter would use to keep a fighter off back in the old days when the rule system wasn't as tight. Trušček's got a guillotine on. This could be trouble city here.
This is his specialty, Will. He's got bite, but very smart. You can see Schober didn't really block and gave him availability to get to the back. Some punches here could close this show, Will.
Absolutely. Trušček taking this into submission territory, holds the leg. Oh, wait there, he's fallen foul of the rule system. A little bit overzealous here. Chris, there wasn't enough hands on the mat, was there?
3 points of contact. It was 3 points of contact. Great refereeing there from Gerd Richter. It might have been an attempt at throwing to the body, I'm not sure, but for sure foul territory.
Wow, and it was very marginal because he held on to that right ankle to pull the leg out, but yeah, there wasn't enough limbs on the ground to make it a legal strike. here and see what Gerd Richter has got to say about this. What's your view, Chris?
Yeah, Trušček realizes what was going on. I'm sure we'll be able to get an angle on the replay. He knows what's good. Let's take a look here. Schober turtles up. Oh, was it a body shot? It looks like the actual instep made contact with the head. Unfortunate, because he targeted the body, it seemed.
Well, Dominik Schober looks like he's been in a car crash, doesn't he? It just looks dreadful at this stage. But they're going to have a word with Trušček. I think it's unintentional. I've never known Ivica Trušček to knowingly throw a foul strike, not even a finger from a hand post. They go back to the action. There may be a point deduction, I don't know, but he's had a word with him. Seems like it's all good. We've got 3 minutes left in this last round, and this could be Schober's opportunity to break the rhythm of Trušček and try and get some traction here.
He needs to. He absolutely needs to. It's Hail Mary time, I believe. And this was the problem. Being in the third round after being chewed up by the same blueprint and not having a plan B was exactly what I wanted Dominik Schober to avoid. And that is the gates at which he stands.
You know, it hasn't been a surgical performance from each player, but it has been genuinely exciting, really thrilling. Dominik Schober has brought his best game here. Trušček has as well. It just goes to show you, you know, and I've mentioned this a couple of times during this bout, that veteran fighters, well, it's like everything. You know what you know, plus, you know, and younger fighters, they bring the new MMA game, separation from the referee, back to the action, which is bad news for Schober because I know what's coming here, that left jab. And Trušček is smart enough to know what works for him. And does a left-left low kick combination. And Schober, all he can do now is use that slight height advantage and leverage to pull his man up against the wire. Trušček, though, well, he's lived a life on the wire, hasn't he? He's like been a piece of laundry on a clothesline for most of his life up against that wire. Look at Schober trying to push him on, trying to advantage him, but all he's doing is burning time, really, because if Trušček gets space between him and Schober, I think he could finish this, but I don't know what he's going to do now. It might go the distance. And
you can see how relaxed Trušček is. He's not burning energy here. He's just kind of waiting, relaxing, like a lifeboat on the waves. He just rides them. And that's just, again, veteran tactics. When you're tired, when you're into a fight, when you've banked 2 rounds, when you know the guy has nothing, this is the 4th time in the whole fight, Gerd Richter is separated from that exact position, from the body lock.
Exactly it, when you know a guy has got nothing. And I said he was a little bit creatively constipated, Dominik Schober. You've got to come with at least a few tricks up your sleeve, something to surprise to throw a curve. You look at fighters like Muhammad Khalibov, where you think, okay, I've got the measure of this, then all of a sudden, out of the blue, a shooting star, a lightning bolt, something beautiful emerges. We're not seeing that from Schober here. So, looking like Ivica Trušček is going to romp home at Cheltenham with a points win here, unless something dreadful happens in under 30 seconds.
Again, very smart stuff. You see him in the middle of the cage, wait, feint, move a little bit, then throw the double jab, now relax up against the fence. It isn't pretty, but it's going to win him this fight.
Yeah, and absolutely, the whole object of the exercise is the win. You know, and if you can win and look good, great. That low kick was thunderous. Schober buckled under it. That's it. That's it. Trušček does it. Props to this MMA veteran and legend, 43 years of age. Almost 10 years senior to his opponent, Dominik Schober. It went the distance. I thought Trušček could have finished it earlier, but talk us through the action in the last round, Chris.
We saw Schober get a lot more aggressive, a great deal more aggressive, but equally unsettled at points. Trušček there with the left kick. We saw that multiple points as well. Here the jab, beautiful, right from low. The hand is low, then he steps in, then it comes again. That was one of the best moves, probably the move of the fight for Ivica Trušček there, the switch kick upstairs. Nicely parried on the inside with the hands. And Schober trying his best to find a way, but I don't think he has, Will.
That double left hand of Ivica Trušček is a boxing masterclass. He throws the first and, as you said, steps in on the second and bangs it in. And that's the one. He knocks on the door. You open the door. In goes the delivery. And Trušček, just look at these guys. They love the fight. Trušček is always saying, you know, he's paying his respects, but they just love talking about this game. And, what a legend right there, Ivica Trušček. And he's a man of few words, you know. We know what the result is, I believe, but we'll wait for the official verdict. Chris, that was cold, man. That was ice cold performance from Trušček. So cool, so relaxed. And he's talking to his corner now. That's a 43-year-old man who's just got 3 5-minute MMA rounds with a younger opponent that's decent in every and which way you look at it.
Sarah Lazar-Smajic there in the crowd watching.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of those 3 completed rounds of action, we go to your judges' scorecards, where we have a unanimous decision. All 3 judges scoring this bout 30 points to 27 in favor of your winner. In the red corner, the King of Germany, Ivica, the Terror!